This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're in beautiful Rocky Mountains above Golden, Colorado. I am here with Holly Strebel Photography. Since 2010, she has been providing wonderful images, memories for folks here in Golden. Let's start off first of all, Holly, why don't you explain to me what a California native ends up being here in Colorado and pursuing the photography industry?
Well, I actually moved around a lot before I ended up in Colorado, and I was in Chicago for about 2 years. And I moved back to California after Chicago, and I said, I'm never going anywhere where it snows. I like warm weather. And then I was visiting a friend in Colorado, and she introduced me to Jeff, my husband, and I was like, hi.
So you ended up here in Colorado.
So I ended up here, correct.
Obviously, consumers out here, we love images. Basically, we've been using them for years. Now more than ever, technology has cameras on iPhones, iPads, iPods, laptops, you name it. Why do you think consumers still continue to turn to a professional to capture some great moments for them?
Because photography really isn't easy. It doesn't matter what kind of camera you have or how up to date it is. It's really challenging to capture the correct skin tone of a person, the correct exposure of a backlit image, to capture the magic, the moment that you had in your mind. Sometimes you take a picture and you're like, that's not what I had in my mind. Or if you go somewhere and you see like a beautiful waterfall and the sun setting and you take a picture with your camera and you look back and you're like, wait, I swear it was so much better in person. And so a photographer just trained, to expose the image correctly and kind of capture the magic that you actually see and that you actually remember. So I think it's great actually that consumers have cameras now, and I think it's great that the iPhone is so popular and the iPad is so popular, because I think that's even pushed photography even more for professionals and kind of made it, I think people want it even more.
I think you're absolutely correct. I was a photographer for over 20 years, and quite honestly, I've always said that it's really not the camera that you're dealing with. A lot of folks look at that, but it's really the person behind that camera, what they're able to do with it. Basically, have you loved and embraced the digital age that we've moved into?
Yes, absolutely. It's fun to, take a picture, erase, take a picture, erase, even if I'm taking pictures of my own kids.
Let me ask you this right off. As far as yourself, you're up here in the Rocky Mountains here. Do you prefer going on location, or do you prefer more of a studio indoor? What do you like?
I like going outside when the weather is nice, but I also love shooting in a client's home. If I can shoot in a client's home and really capture their personality and their kids really comfortable in their own house and capture the really natural expressions, that's what I love. So in their home and outdoors. Like
you said, you're a parent yourself, so you obviously know one of the most valuable memories we have is when we start that process of bringing kids into the world. Tell me what you're able to offer for women out there who are starting that maternity process.
Well, I do maternity images, newborn. One thing that's really popular this year is my 1 year package. So you have the option between maternity and then the newborn 3, 6, 9, and 1 year, or the newborn 6 month and 1 year. So really it's just capturing those milestone images. It's first it's the newborn image, which is they're just so sweet, and then the 3 month and they're just starting to lift their head, and that's so cute, and then the 6 month that they're sitting, and then 9 month they're starting to stand, and 1 year they're walking. So just capturing all those milestones is really popular, and it's one of my favorite things to capture.
Speaking of that, obviously in these maternity portraits, being a female photographer, you're probably able to make your subject real comfortable. What about boudoir maternity? Is that something people seem to love?
That's my favorite.
Really?
I love boudoir maternity, yes. I just think it's gorgeous. I think a belly is really beautiful. Again, I think shooting in someone's house is really beautiful. So if I just get a really beautiful belly and some cute little shorts and a tank top and, just in the doorway or sitting on their bed or in their, just somewhere where they're comfortable in a really comfortable outfit and just capturing the natural beauty of a pregnant woman.
Simple is beautiful.
It is beautiful, I agree.
Obviously, it's a big time for mother. She's getting ready to have a baby here, but it's also a big time for the dad as well as possible siblings. Are you able to incorporate them into those maternity portraits as well?
I incorporate anyone the mommy wants in the images. So if she wants the siblings in the images, or in the images. If she wants dad in there, dad's in there. If she wants a dog in there, dogs. Whoever's important to that family, that's who I capture. So I want to give them memories that they just adore and they look back 10 years from now. So anyone they want in the images is definitely welcome.
As far as photography goes, like you said, once you get the science down of the actual exposure and whatnot, after that, you're talking about a true art. Obviously, art should not be rushed. So tell me, is there a time frame? Do people have to worry about a certain amount of time that they have in a session?
Generally, I really like clients to not feel rushed. And I'm a mom. I don't like to feel stressed. I don't want them to feel stressed. So if their 2-year-old is maybe having a cranky moment, their 2-year-old can have a cranky moment and they can go, step aside and blow some bubbles or have a snack and not have to worry that they're running out of time. So my sessions are stress-free for mom, and that's how I like it. So no time limits unless it's a mini session, and that's a whole.
Wonderful. I think that's great for people because quite honestly, they're a little afraid of you at first, but then you kind of become part of it and they start doing what they do best, which is being natural, and then you capture that. I think it's great. One of the things that I've noticed is basically as an investment in photography, I look at it as an investment because simply it grows value as the years go on. Let me ask you, have you kept your pricing simple so people understand? Tell me a little bit about it.
Pricing is challenging all around because you're trying to keep the pricing simple for clients and so they can easily understand it, but you're also trying to cover business expenses. I try to keep it simple as possible, but I also have custom options available too. So I have really simple pricing up front, and I say, hey, if you want something else, let me know and I'll quote you on that.
Obviously, you're an artist behind the camera. What about an artist once you actually get the images? Do you do a little bit of behind the scenes as well, and do you enjoy that?
In terms of editing behind the scenes, or I do edit every image. I go through all the images. I pick my favorite. They're usually images that just kind of make me smile, that I feel. It's an image that makes me feel something. My editing is very minimal. So what I capture in the camera, I try to get as perfect as possible. And so my editing really isn't very much. What you get is pretty much what was on my camera.
That's interesting. And let me ask you this. The last question would be, are folks able to buy the whole digital collection so they can have it on their end as well?
They are able to buy digital collections, but the digital collections that I pick out. Okay. So if I took 200 images at their session and I pull 30, they have the option to purchase the 30 digital images that
Wonderful. So that's a wonderful thing. You basically have the best of your work out there, and folks are able to have that, share it, and keep it forever.
Correct.
Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, you're basically going to see the portfolio, which quite honestly, we've been sharing a lot of images on the screen right now, but you're really going to see that this is a person that found what they love doing, basically up in the beautiful mountains of Golden, Colorado. She is definitely here to walk you through the process and make sure she's going to capture some gorgeous memories with flawless images. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.